kids' church once again. Where did that week go? I don't know. But anyway, I hope you all had a good week. I do like to remember, last week we started a series about the armour of God. And we started thinking about soldiers in Bible times, how they wore armour, very different to what our soldiers. But there was a purpose for all of the pieces of the armour that a soldier would wear. And we said that God has also given us armour to protect us against our enemy. Who did we say that our enemy is? The devil, because he's out to trick us, isn't it? Isn't he? Would you like to come up and be my model today? You don't have to do anything hard. Can you come up and help me? Come on, you can do it. Okay, so does anybody remember we said this was the first piece of the armour? It's the belt, but it's the belt of truth. Yes, it's going to be the belt of truth. Well done. And remember we said that the belt of truth, we have truth right in the centre of our lives, so it's right in the middle. But not only that, but it goes all the way around us. And that's what God has given us to protect us against our enemy. As you said, the devil. And another name for the devil is the father of lies. So the very opposite of truth, the father of lies. So he is well protected. Now it might not look like a very big piece of armour, but the truth is very important. And we also said that the belt is the first piece of armour that a soldier would put on, then all the other bits attached to it or fit around it. So if the belt wasn't firmly buckled in place, then the other pieces of armour might slip or slide or not be in the right place to protect us. But this week, we're moving on to the next piece of the armour of God. And this is it. It's called the breastplate of righteousness. So Peter, we're going to get you to put this on, okay? Put your arms in there. Now that looks more like armour, doesn't it? Remember what you see? That looks more like what we imagine as armour to be. So it's a breastplate, big words, it's a breastplate, it's a big solid piece that's protecting everything that's behind it. What important part of your body is in here, behind there? Anybody know? Denzel, what do you think? Your heart, there's lots of important parts too, like your lungs, your kidneys, your liver, all of those important things. But your heart is in there. So the breastplate of righteousness is protecting your heart. You see, if you're in a battle, if you get your arm hurt or your leg hurt, you're probably still going to survive the battle. Even if you don't have an arm or a leg, you can still live like that. But if something happens to your heart, you can't live without a heart. So this is a very important piece of armour because it's going to protect your heart. Isn't that right? So I'm going to let you go and sit down again. Well done, Keena. This is just I'll put this easy up. There we go. So now we've got the belt of truth and the breastplate of righteousness. But as well as explaining what a breastplate is, I think I probably need to explain what righteousness is. Because it's a big word, isn't it? And it's not something that we really use every day in our language. So Gordon, I'm going to ask you to give these pages out to any kids or would-be kids, okay? We have one for everybody this week. Right. And I'm going to test you, right? So while Gordon's giving those out, I still need you to listen, okay? So righteousness is all about doing right. Now, your parents, from you were very small, your parents began to teach you right from wrong. And your parents would have said things like to you like, don't touch it, it's hot. Did your parents ever say that to you? Don't touch it, it's hot. And why did your parents tell you that? Not because they just wanted to annoy you. It's because they knew that if you touch that, you're going to get your fingers burned. So don't touch, it's hot. There are consequences. And another thing that they might have said to you is, if you're out walking along the footpath, don't just run out into the road without looking. What would happen if you run out into the road without looking, Keena? You might get knocked down. So you wouldn't want that to happen. But you see, that's why your parents teach you right from wrong, because there are consequences if you do wrong things. But sometimes there are good consequences if you do good things. Like your mum or dad might say to you, if you tidy your room, do a really good for everything that we do. If it's a good thing, there might be good consequences, but if it's a bad thing or a dangerous thing, there will be not so nice consequences, isn't that right? So, you've all got a little piece of paper in front of you. I've got a test to see how well you've been listening to your parents. To see if you have learnt right and wrong, okay? So, I'm going to read out some things here, and if you think it's right, I want you to hold up the green tick, okay? If you think it's wrong, I want you to hold up the cross, okay? Now, I hope your parents are watching today, so I hope you've all been learning your right from your wrong, okay? So, here is the first thing. You have some sweets, and your mum says, I want you to share these sweets with your brother. So you give your brother half the packet. Is that right, or is that wrong? You've done that before, we're going to do on time. It's right, of course it is. Your mum has asked you to share, so you've given the whole half a packet. That was brilliant. Now, the next one here is, your mum has asked you to help with the washing up, and you do say yes. You say yes, well, not today, I'm not doing it today, I'll maybe do it tomorrow. Is that right or wrong? That's wrong, because your mum has asked you to help do the dishes now. Okay, well done. Alright, so, mum comes in, it's all about mum, sis. Mum comes in and tells you to tidy your room. You say, I didn't make the mess. My brother came in and he messed up the room, so why should I have to tidy it up? Is that right or wrong? Correct. I know you're not going to want to tidy the room because if you really think that your brother messed it up well, okay, but your mum asked you to tidy your room, so you ought to do that. So one more, actually two more. Okay, so you have some homework to do. And your dad says, do the homework now. When you get it all finished, then you can watch some TV. So you do your homework right away because you know your favourite programme starts in half an hour. Is that right or wrong? Do your homework right exactly when you're told to. Okay, next one. This is the last one. Okay, so Dad has told you a few times it's time to get up. This time it comes in. Last chance. This is time to get up. You need to get up. Now you know it is time to get up, but you're still sleeping. But you do get up. Is that right? Yeah? But that's not the end of my sentence. You do get up, but you're cross and grumpy. Yeah. So, you've shown me, already you have learned the difference between right and wrong. But do you know that you can do right things for the wrong reasons? Now this morning, I have to tell you, I really want to bring my dog. I really want to bring Kiva this morning, but I thought it might turn into chaos. And Gordon agreed to be a bit of chaos, so we decided not to bring Kiva this morning. But I'm going to get Gordon to pretend to be Kiva. Okay, you see, even my dog knows the difference between right and wrong. And this would happen in my house. And then our fellow will be able to back me up on this. I would say, Kiva, sit. Kiva, sit. Kiva, sit. Kiva, sit. And Kiva sits. Why do you think Kiva sat eventually? Because she heard me get cross. She knew she was going to be in trouble if she didn't sit. But if I had one of these in my hand, does anybody know what this is? A dog biscuit. If I had one of these in my hand, I'd say, Kiva, sit. Hey. You see, even Kiva knows the difference between right and wrong. But today we're not just talking about right and wrong, we're talking about righteousness, the breastplate of righteousness. Sometimes it's easy to do the right thing, especially if there's a good reward at the end of it. But righteousness means doing right, being right in the sight of God. And remember, God can see into our hearts. And this is where our enemy, the devil, tries to trick us. He tries, if he can't, he wants us to make bad choices, to do bad things. And if he can't get us to do that, he'll settle for getting us to do right things, but for wrong reasons. But righteousness is doing right because it's right. Righteousness is doing right because it's what God wants us to do. And if we have the belt of truth in place, then we can measure right and wrong. You've already proved to me that you know the difference between right and wrong. Righteousness is a bit more difficult. We tried to do this in kids' church a few years back, and kids were far too young, didn't really understand righteousness. But if all you know at the minute is right and wrong, that's the place to start. That's the place to start. But for the older ones, our 10, Denzel, and it's not a bad idea for us adults to remind ourselves as well. Righteousness is doing the right thing because it's right and because it's what God wants us to do. So if we have on our breastplate of righteousness, we're doing those things for God. We're doing it because God sees our heart. We're doing it for the right reasons, not just to get a prize or to win something. So, I've got some more examples here. And we're going to just talk through them. And we're going to see if these things are just right or if they're righteous. Okay, so you're doing your homework. You're doing it really well. You're being very careful. You're doing it really neat. And you're learning all of your spellings because your class has a star chart. And the winner is going to get a prize. And you're right at the top. This is your last homework that's going to count for marks. So you're making sure that you do this homework perfectly. Is that right or righteous? Well, of course it's right. But if you're only doing it because you want to get the prize, then it's not really righteous. Righteous is doing your homework perfectly every day because that's what you're meant to do. So another example. You and your sister are colouring in. Your sister is sad. You don't have a sister, then it's your brother, okay? Your sister is sad because she doesn't have a red crayon. And you give her yours because you know that will cheer her up and it will help her to finish her picture. Is that right? Or is it also righteous? It's righteous. It's the right thing to do. You did it for the right reason to help her, to cheer her up. Your mum has asked you to tidy up, and if you do it, you're going to get a chocolate bar. So, of course, you do it. Is that just right, or is it also righteous? It's just right. Because if you did it for the chocolate bar, then that's a bit of a, it's not quite the right reason. But anyway, it's still right. It's not wrong. Your mum's busy, like all mums. Your mum's been busy working and she's very tired. So you offer to do the washing up so that she can have a rest. Is that right or righteous? Righteous. Because you did it for the right reasons. So right is right, but righteous is God's way. It's what's in your heart when you know God. And you remember our enemy, the devil, is out to get us. And like we said before, if he can't make us make bad choices and do bad things, then he'll try at least to get us to do the right things, but for the wrong reason. So today we have to remember the breastplate of righteousness, along with the belt of truth that will help us to know the right way and the right thing to do. And remember, righteousness is not just right, but it's right in the sight of God. And next week we'll move on to another part of the armour of God. Now I'm going to sing. So, remember last week we did this one? I made every march from the music. Well, we're not doing that one. What? This time we're going to do a more modern version of it, okay? So, you all watch cartoons, okay? And sometimes you watch cartoons of like superheroes, like Batman and Superman. They're not real, I have to tell you, they're not real. But they think they've got superpowers. We know we have the power of God. So, what we're going to sing today is, I may never fly like Superman, climb like Spider-Man, bend like the Man. Indiana Jones is not the kind of guy I am, and I'm in the Lord's army. Okay, we got that? Okay. I may never fly like Spider-Man, fly like Spider-Man, actions. It wasn't too bad. But see those yes sirs, you're in the army, Sergeant Major's expecting to hear you. Yes, sir.
I can never fly like Superman, fly like Spider-Man, head like the Hammer, Indiana Jones is not the man I am, but I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I'm in the Lord's army. Yes, sir! I can never fly like Superman.